Hey, welcome back to episode 3 of Vinyl Yap. Today we're going to be doing American Idiot by Green Day. Thanks Stephen Flood for recommendations, and thanks everyone else for recommendations. We will get around to doing every album, but for now we're going to do 2 albums a week, Mondays and Thursdays. So for today we're doing American Idiot, Green Day's 7th album. Green Day has been a band, probably my first favourite band in my whole lifetime. Probably the first album I ever bought was American Idiot, so it means a lot to me. I know, Kieran, you haven't listened to Green Day as much as me. But
yeah, that's what I'm looking forward to this. You're going to hold my hand through it now. Really, before listening to this, I only knew the kind of big songs.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like, whatever, but after listening to this now, I think the mind might have changed on them. So,
yeah, there's a lot of the hits are on this album, to be fair. 20 years old, 2 years ago, and they were doing a tour for it. I was at it. Stephen Flood was at it. I went with my auntie and uncle, and it was a brilliant gig. So, yeah, we're going to get kicked straight back into it with American Idiot.
Let's go.
Anyway. Yeah, that's the way an album should start.
Don't want a nation under the new media. And can you hear the sound of hysteria? The subliminal mindfuck America. Welcome to a new kind of tension all across the alien nation.
Yeah. He's been playing the white out the band.
There isn't a video, it's only green and white. What does this look like? Very cool, straight away in the drums.
Well, maybe I'm the faggot America. I'm not a part of a redneck agenda. Now everybody
No one got it. So they sing with their last year and say, I'm a part of a faggot agenda.
They're saying that now, yeah. We'll get into that. It's just like that. Back American Idiot, Kieran, what do you think?
Yeah, this is one of the songs that I've heard growing up, and it is a banger for getting into the album.
Yeah.
Unbelievable guitar, drums.
Probably is the way you'd want a kind of, not a comeback album, but it was a space of 4 years from Warning. It was Green Day's previous studio album. It didn't go as well as they wanted it to. The band were kind of at loose ends. They had previously recorded a record called Cigarettes and Alcohol. Cigarettes and Valentines.
We're going to get on the cigarettes and alcohol soon.
Yeah, we
still
will. 2 years previously, but all his files were stolen. The band were at a loose end, so they just decided to go scratch, and Billy Joe went for a completely different kind of thing. This album tells a story. It's not just any regular album.
Yeah, no, I was doing, like I said, a bit of research, kind of listening to the song, and they were saying that it was all about kind of George Bush getting a terrible doing on our. This is the 3rd episode. We have 2 references.
Billy Allen and Billy Joe.
Yeah, but kind of retort against like the whole war and George Bush and everything, because I've seen pictures of them performing this song wearing like George Bush masks, and they're wearing Donald Trump masks now.
Yeah, well, like people say, like Green Day have always been a political infused band. Maybe there's only 2 kind of political songs in this album. It's this and Holiday. Apart from that, nothing really. But we're going to go straight into the next song. It's called Jesus of Suburbia, and Jesus of Suburbia is actually the main character throughout this album, so you'll listen to him throughout the whole album.
I'm the son of Rachel Love, the Jesus of Suburbia, the Bible love, none of the above, only steady diet. Started popping riddle line. Now I never died for my sins, and now as far as I can tell, these are ones I got away with. And there's nothing.
Tasty album is coming out like that. Really strong for this.
Yeah. You're not going to listen to this song go through every month.
Okay.
I like to call it Bohemian Rhapsody. Punk rock version of Bohemian Rhapsody. No, it's not.
To follow love and follow dad, to alcohol and cigarettes and Mary Jane, to keep me insane, to with someone else's cocaine. And there's nothing wrong
really good. We'll introduce the whole band in this track.
At the center of the earth in the parking lot of the 7-Eleven where I was taught.
We keep that cutting by the house. You know, the kind of man bass coming at you. You have this over 2 feet. Yeah, I remember, actually, to be honest, the first time I listened to it, I thought I was on the next song, and then looked at it.
No. Well, a lot of the songs in this album are intertwined.
Yeah, I'm kind of like that. I like when the man tells a story. I just look one of very honest with you and real. And the man tells a story.
Yeah, I like that song.
To the range here.
Yeah, that is where you're first introduced into the main character in the whole album, who is Jesus of Suburbia, a man disillusioned by the state that Americans in at the minute and the town that he's living in. What do you think?
Yeah, but jeez, if he's disillusioned back then, he's probably having a rough go of it by now.
Yeah, I don't think he's still alive.
21 years later, Jesus, yeah. But yeah, no, I said, look, really interesting. I like that's a bit different as well. Going, 9 minutes for your second song into your album.
As I said, it's punk rock's Bohemian Rhapsody, in my opinion, anyway.
Yeah, look, I think it's bold as well to go for something that long, a bit different instead of 5 different chapters. Having that story behind it as well, it's kind of bumping up my rating a bit as well.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah, I do.
Cool. So we'll move on to track 3 and 4, Holiday and Boulevard Broken Dreams.
The ones who died without a name. Yeah, the dogs howling out of key to a hymn called Faith and Misery, and plead the company lost the war today.
I'm not doing that. What the fuck?
It says the dawning of the rest of our lives on holiday.
Okay, Holiday, another iconic track from the album. What do you think?
Yeah, I said I'm familiar with this one. I don't know how many times I've heard it when it's been in movies. Pretty sure it's been a few video game soundtracks as well. I know this one pretty well.
It's one of them when you're younger. This is what first got me into Green Day. Was I was sitting in my kitchen and my dad's friend came in and it was on a VCR tape and he popped it into the little tiny television that was in the kitchen, and it was actually Holiday / Boulevard of Broken Dreams, the 2 music videos on the VCR that was plugged into television, and I was like, who's this? I must have been only, well, I was 5 when this album came out, but I must have been about 7 years of age at the time.
Yeah, so obviously, I've heard Holiday, An American Idiot, but when you hear them as a kid, you have no idea what they're talking about.
No, not as a kid, but when it's only when you get now and you do realise what he's on about. This is clearly directed at George Bush yet again. Siege Hail to the President, Gas Man.
I walk a lonely road, the only one that I have ever known.
This is an emo anthem. This is Sweeping the Hair.
Yeah.
Emo anthem.
The back of the day.
I walk this empty street on the boulevard of broken dreams, where the
I don't
city
get that one,
sleeps and I'm the only one and I walk alone. somewhere in my mind, on the borderline of the edge and where I walk alone. Read between the lines, what's fucked up and
Okay, Boulevard of Broken Dreams. What do you think, Kieran?
Yeah, it's a banger. Again, I keep saying, I'm not familiar with Green Day. And we're 4 tracks in. I'm like, I have heard 3 of these songs before.
Yeah, come here. These first few tracks were massive hits at the time. I think we'll delve more into the album now. From here, you might not know the tracks as well as you did, but you'll probably enjoy them as much as you enjoyed them ones. But Boulevard of Broken Dreams. So for Holiday, back to the character of Jesus of Suburbia, who is the main character once again, as I said. This Holiday was him getting out of the suburbans and experiencing a new lifestyle. That hit the massive highs, and then Boulevard of Broken Dreams brings him back into this lull, depression. You see that in the music video. It's just the 3 band members just walking along, shadows, and yeah.
Yeah, and the one thing I was coming up when I was looking up about this song, our guy, Noel Gallagher,
Yeah?
going in on it. Yeah, he was saying that they copied the chord progression from Wonderwall, and he's like, they ripped off the song, they're just a corporate punk band.
Come here, anyone that knows me knows I'm a massive Oasis fan, but Wonderwall, it wouldn't even be in my top 20 Oasis tracks, so I'm not going to take any need to that.
And Oasis did win a Grammy either for Record of the Year, so.
No, absolutely not. So, with that, we're going to move into the next track. It's kind of a double track, so we're going to Are We the Waiting and St. Jimmy. Great track, love.
starry nights, city lights coming down over me. So waiting unknown, sturdy town, spinning down in my dreams. Lost and found, city bound in my dreams. And screaming. Give me nuts, second thoughts, live in isolation. It's our tales, fairy tales in my mind. Down, oh boy, welcome to the club and give me some pride. I'm the resident leader of the lost and found. It's comedy and tragedy. It's St. Jimmy, and that's my name.
Okay, so that was the double track of Are We the Waiting and St. Jimmy. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm happy that we jumped straight into St. Jimmy, because after about kind of maybe 2 minutes of Are We the Waiting, I was getting, what are we waiting for here? I'm
Yeah, like
a little bit bored of it, but yeah, when he jumps into St. Jimmy, I'm liking it. The pace picks back up, and it's
that's your opinion, Kieran, and I'm going to have to disagree with it, to be honest. Are We the Waiting? He's basically still in his Jesus of Suburbia phase, and then he goes into Jesus of Suburbia as a lie, and then it kicks into St. Jimmy, which is his alter ego, where he turns to alcohol, drugs, and when things get flipped from. But yeah,
and St. Jimmy seemed to be having a better time.
St. Jimmy was having a hell of a time.
Ooh, right into the mic there. This goes badly. We can do an ASMR podcast instead. Just opening cans of
Mukbang. Right, so on the talk of drugs and alcohol, we're going to move into the next track. Give me Novacaine.
sponsorship of Pepsi Max.
Take away the sensation.
Okay, so that was Give Me Novacaine.
Yeah, so I know I was giving out 1 second with the album going slow, but I do like this one a bit more mellow, showed off the vocal range in a different way. Not so much a shouting, it's a lot softer, it's a lot gentler, a bit more emotional. I like it.
Yeah, so Give Me Novacaine is gone back to Jesus of Suburbia. It's looking for him for reassurance from his alter ego, Saint Jimmy. So it's giving. He's asking Saint Jimmy for the Novacaine. Yeah, I think it's a great track, and it moves in. It brings on to the second half of the album where it tells the whole different side of the story.
Okay.
So we move straight in.
Yeah, let's get into it.
We'll go with She's a Rebel.
She's a rebel, she's a saint, she's the salt of the earth and she's dangerous. She's a rebel, vigilante, missing link on the brink of destruction. From Chicago to Toronto, she's the one that they call, oh, what's her name? She's a symbol of resistance, and she's holding on my heart like a hand grenade. She brings this liberation that I just can't define. Well, nothing comes to mind. She's a rebel, she's a saint, she's the salt of the earth and she's dangerous. She's a rebel.
Okay, so that's She's a Rebel. Kieran, opinions, please.
Yeah, probably, in my opinion, one of the weaker songs on the album. As I was saying to you, I just feel it's not really giving me anything different.
Yeah, well, the She's that Billy Joel's reference to in the album here is a girl that he has met. I don't know if you knew that.
No, but I mean, it's still not exciting me. It's
all part of the storyline. It's all part of the storyline.
better, but
Filler. Oh my God. We're going to move on. We're going to move on. Extraordinary Girl. The Bongos, is it?
guys, hey, this is a different album here. Go back to Trench Town.
Shout out GFC. What's that? That game, is it?
They were in charge or something like that.
She's an extraordinary girl in an ordinary world, and she can't seem to get away. Some days she feels like dying. She gets so sick of crying.
Extraordinary Girl, but extraordinary song. This to me, and She's a Rebel could have been the same thing outside of the Bongos. Like if this album was like a seesaw, it's tipping over on one side because all the good songs are at the start.
Yeah, but you're only saying that because these are songs that you're familiar with.
Chat.
I have to agree. To be honest, that's not
I
my
know
favourite track.
I know there is better songs coming. But yeah, just for me, they're just being back to back. It's just not ideal for me. But I know there's better tracks coming.
I know the song's labelled Extraordinary Girl, but I think it's coming to the end of their relationship, if I'm being honest. You'll see it on the next track. We're going to move on to the next track. It's called Letterbomb.
Yeah, I'm not gonna say
Good job. Good singer slash Paris. Yes, more there,
we just talked about it.
Talk about it.
Yeah, I like it.
Where have all the bastards gone? Where have all the riots gone? As the city's model gets pulverized, what's in love is now and dead. On your birth certificate to strike the fucking match to. You know that Jesus of Suburbia, that's Saint Jimmy is a favorite of. Your father's rage and your mother's love. Maybe the idiot America. It's not over till you're underground. It's not over before it's too late. This city's burning. It's not burning.
I'll end it there. I'll end it there.
It's too late. She said I can take this place and take this down. I'm leaving you tonight.
Got 3 episodes in. Thanks, guys. This is the end. It's not a fall now. Letterbomb, Kieran, opinion.
Yeah, much rather this track. Really good. I said the drums on it. Tricky on the drums. Unbelievable. Loving the guitar on it. The riff starting off, and yeah, Billy Joe's voice is great. I really, really like the song. Picked me up when I needed it as well.
Yeah, I'm glad we got him back inside. This is basically the end of the relationship that was going on in the last couple of tracks. Letterbomb, she can't handle him anymore. It's done. It's over. Forget about it. We're going to move on to the next track. That's the end of that. We're going to move on to a classic, Wake Me Up When September Ends. I hope you know this one.
Yeah, all day.
Okay, let's go.
Summer has come to pass. The innocent can never last. Wake me up
You're going to try
when September ends.
I could say that.
What could it be?
Like my father's come to pass. 7 years has gone so fast. Waiting again, falling from the stars, drenched in my pain again, becoming who we are.
Let the drums kick in.
And wake me up when September ends. Here comes the rain again, falling from the stars, drenched in my pain again, becoming who we are. As my memory rests,
Okay, Wake Me Up When September Ends. Kieran, what do you think?
Yeah, absolutely love this song. Again, it's one that I knew going into it. Probably maybe sway me a little bit. There's a lot of nostalgia kind of coming that way, but yeah, absolutely the song for me. It's like 10 out of 10. It's iconic.
Yeah, so that's quite a personal track. Probably the most personal track that Billy Joe has written in his catalogue. It's about his father passing when he was younger. He died of cancer, I think, in sometime in the 80s, but I think Billy was a preteen, and he alludes to that. He said 7 years have gone past, 20 years have gone past. So that's why he's saying Wake Me Up September Ends, because September is obviously such a horrible month for him. But even when you see, like, I've seen Green Day play live 3 times, and I've seen numerous performances of this song live before, and he struggles to hold it in together now, perform this song, even though they perform it at every gig.
Yeah, and I know I've seen videos as well. There's kind of a massive association between this song and Hurricane Katrina. I know Green Day, a lot of the money that they receive from this song, they've dedicated to trying to rebuild parts of America after Katrina and the devastation that went through it. And there's a lot of music videos, kind of this track over it, and showing the aftermath in New Orleans and everything.
To the next track, it's called Homecoming. So I'm going to take it away.
my heart is beating from me. I am standing all alone. Please call me only if you are coming home. Wasting in the streets of shame. Lost your dreams in the rain. There's no signs of
Okay, so that's a penultimate song of American Idiot, Homecoming. Kieran, what do you think?
Again, bold coming in here with another 9-minute song, and I know look, it's trying to tell a story. It's a little bit long in the tooth for me. You know, there are bits where you kind of I probably need to go back through this album and re-listen, kind of understand. Maybe someone can make a documentary about the whole story. I can understand a bit better. But there were parts of the track that were swaying me.
Yeah, so like it's the second 9-minute track in the album. Jesus of Suburbia was the first one. That was kind of the birth of Jesus of Suburbia, the main character. Is upcoming. Now this is him killing it off completely. This is Jesus of Suburbia going back to a completely normal life. He's killed off St. Jimmy, all the demons in his head, forgetting about the girl that he was with before and moving on, and that's it.
Yeah, as I said, that as just a song, take away the story element as a track standing on its own. It's not one that I think I would go to. I would go to and listen to Jesus Suburbia on its own. I probably would not go and listen to Homecoming on its own, just as a song itself.
Yeah, no, I'd probably be the same myself, to be honest. But with that, we're going to move on to the last track. What's her name?
Be a dream. I made a point to burn all of the photographs.
Yeah,
She went away and then I took a different path. I remember the face, but I can't recall the name.
Hardcore Green Day fans, this is their favourite track.
Now I wonder what's her name has been.
Hardcore Green Day fans like the shower right there.
Into what?
Don't like the shower right there.
Very true.
Have you ever heard one headline?
Seems that she
One Walkload?
disappeared without
Like who?
The
a
Walkload, I'll play for you.
trace.
I know, I watched it this week.
Did
Song
she
is
ever
the show. This song is
marry? Oh, what's
I'll play it for
his
you afterwards. I'll
face?
play it over the
I made a point to burn all of the photographs. She went away and then I took a different path. I remember the face, but I can't recall the name. Now I wonder what her name has been.
Okay, concluding the album off with What's Her Name. Give me an opinion on the track and give me your opinion on the whole album.
Yeah, I know, a bit of an emotional roller coaster for you.
Yeah.
This album. Yeah, so look, I've known Green Day for big hits, never gone into a deep dive like this and like some of the deep cuts. I've never heard What's Her Name and songs like that. I really like this track, although it does sound exactly like One Headline, which we'll listen to now in a second. Overall, it's a very, very strong album. I think for an album to have that many hits, that many songs that stand to this day, to someone who's not a fan, it's probably an 8 out of 10. It's only let down by some of those middle tracks. For me, it's an 8 out of 10.
Okay, fair. You know, for me, this is like the album that really got me into music, if I'm being honest. When I was young, I've seen Green Day numerous times. I've seen the Broadway show. That's what I didn't mention, that this American Idiot was actually brought into a Broadway show to tell the whole story of the whole album. That's how strong it was. Billy Joe actually started the first one on Broadway. I saw it in Dublin. It was brought onto West End. It toured the whole world. And yeah, I've seen Green Day multiple times. This is my favourite Green Day album. This is one of my favourite albums of all time. It's a 9.5 out of 10 for me.
Yeah, no, it was very fair. And he said, look, there's that part of nostalgia that comes with it as well. Like, you're listening back, and it's the same as when you're listening to it when you're 7.
Yeah, like I went to see Green Day last summer and I threw a numerous amount of pints at this gig. Funny story about that is I actually went with my auntie and uncle and their 2 kids, and Daniel was going back into school. He was going back into 6th class, and you know the way when you go back into school they say, oh, what did you do during the summer? So Daniel goes in and he writes in, my cousin was throwing pints at Green Day and got given out to by a woman behind us, which is true, an American woman. She doesn't understand the culture.
Yeah.
The Irish concert scene.
Well, quick side note, what about someone trying to do that at Harry Styles? That's
disgusting.
definitely not the culture for it.
Someone going to see Harry Styles in the first place is, I don't know.
Yeah. yeah, well, look, thanks for listening. Let us know down below any albums that you want us to react to.
Yeah, thanks very much. Dookie. I'm definitely doing Dookie. So
Okay,
100%. Let us know. Thank you.
Thanks.